This is The Top, where I interview entrepreneurs who are number one or number two in their industry in terms of revenue or customer base. You'll learn how much revenue they're making, what their marketing funnel looks like, and how many customers they have.
I'm now at $20,000 per talk.
5 and 6 million. He is hell-bent on global domination. We just broke our 100,000 units sold mark.
And I'm your host, Nathan Latka.
Okay, Top Tribe, this week's winner of the $100 is Jose Avila. He is a 17-year-old that doesn't want to go to college and he wants to start his own business. For your chance to win $100 just like Jose every Monday morning, simply subscribe to this podcast on iTunes right now and then text the word Nathan to 33444 to prove that you did it. All right, guys, I talked about this earlier, but I schedule like so many meetings that would blow your mind. I mean, all my podcast interviews, right? Hundreds of entrepreneurs I talk to monthly. I schedule, and you know what? I do it so efficiently. I get them all to agree to my calendar, so all the calls are back to back to back. That means I'm not switching in between tasks all day long. I get them to batch so that I can be very efficient. It's so critical. And I use a tool called Acuity Scheduling to do this at nathanlatka.com/schedule. It eliminates the back and forth between me and people I'm trying to meet with. It makes it very simple. And most importantly, they help me keep my no-show rate very low because they send out reminders. Helps you look very professional. So go to nathanlatka.com/schedule to sign up. And you get a great deal. You know, you guys know this. I hit people hard. I make great deals. And Gavin, the CEO, has given us a great deal. If you sign up like normal people, okay, on their website, you only get a 14-day free trial. If you use my link, nathanlatka.com/schedule, you get 45 days free. Okay, it's the best. It's free. Go to nathanlatka.com/schedule right now to sign up, and I'll see you there. Nathan Latka here. This is episode 606, and coming up tomorrow morning, you will hear from 30-year-old founder Peter Schlecht of the SaaS company, which has passed $90,000 in monthly recurring revenue, helping 20 companies get leads and qualified meetings. Good morning, everybody. Nathan Latka here. Our guest this morning is Christof Wittig. He's a serial software entrepreneur and investor. Currently, he's the founder and CEO at Hornet Networks, the world's second largest gay social network, and he's a managing partner at Strive Capital based in San Francisco. He's an investor and or board member in various companies, including Inish, Mitigo, Keep Safe, Virtual Health, Black Medicine, Movie Pilot, Boxfish, and App Annie. He's been active in the U.S., Germany, and throughout Asia. Christof, are you ready to take us to the top?
Absolutely. Buckle up.
Good. We're going to have some fun. I'm a big fan of App Annie, by the way. They're on a tear over there, aren't they?
They're absolutely on a tear, and we love Bertrand, the leadership over there, and it's a very joyful investment we're having.
Good. What came first for you, Strive Capital or Hornet?
It came actually at the same time. Strive Capital initiated as key capital after I sold my second company, Servo Software. I started a fund that was focused on mobile apps. And while doing investments as an entrepreneur, I always felt like, like a music critique. I wanted to do something and build something. This is really in my bones over all my life. And so I started Hornet on the side because I was very disappointed in the user experience of the existing gay apps. And Hornet was really a side project while I was starting my investment career. And today it's my career.
And what did you, the company right before Hornet, what was it that you exited?
Servo Software. That has been a mobile middleware company focusing on the Android platform, so something very technical and B2B. Mm-hmm. And in fact, Hornet has been my first started consumer business, apart from the investments I've made in that space.
And that first company, when did you launch it? That was kind of middleware.
That was in 2004.
Okay.
It started off as an embedded Java framework, and it pivoted when Android came about, which was basically the leading then implementation of embedded Java to become a middleware platform for mobile operators and handset manufacturers. And that gave me a good insight into the on-deck and underneath the hood part of the mobile stack, but also the understanding what it meant to go into the App Store and over the top. And how disruptive mobile would be to every industry as a channel and as a platform to connect people. And since I'm a gay man, I also, of course, thought about how this platform can help strengthen the gay community and create a better user experience than what had been out there at the time.
And what year did you sell that company in?
Second,
So what year did you sell that first company in?
In 2010, I merged Servo Software with a Japanese company to form what's now called Key Corporation. It's around, it's thriving, and it's big in the IoT space.
Were you able to withdraw capital out of there? I mean, is that where your initial capital for Strive and Hornet came from?
Yes, so the capital was originally provided from that company. That was the fund for Strive Capital. That was initially from Key. And also sold my own shareholdings in that company later in the secondary. So those were additional funds on top of the first exit I had back in Germany in 2002.
And how old are you now, Christof?
Wow, that's a question.
Come on, you can fudge it a little bit if you want.
I'm 48.
Okay, good. We'll say plus or minus 48 years, right?
Say plus or minus 29 and some letters, A, B, C, D. I have lost count.
All right. And then loop Sean into the story. So we had Sean back on episode 440 at nathanlatka.com/the top 440. Was he a co-founder or how did you guys get connected?
Yeah, so when I set out to start Hornet back in 2011, I looked for people who could help me get this off the ground. And Sean, immediately jumped on the idea, and I was happy to get him on board. He basically focused on marketing and helped me to build the company over the years. In 2013, he came on board full-time. I ran the company part-time on the side of Strive Capital. And eventually the project just became too big and too much traction. So he joined full-time and took over the CEO leadership. And last July, we said, hey, let's take this to the next level. And Sean asked me to come back, take the leadership helm again. And we are now still, running it together. He in the role of president and again, heading up marketing and sales while I'm heading up the overall business strategy as CEO.
And then let's jump into some kind of more of the numbers. So it was founded back, you said, in 2011. And what's your revenue model? How do you make money?
Correct. We started in 2011, and initially we really, surfed the same wave that everyone in the gay app/dating space is surfing, which is basically mostly majority subscription revenue in a freemium model. So you pay an in-app subscription for special features that you unlock and an ad-free and advertising-free experience. On top of them, you have advertising. Typically, that can be programmatic advertising or directly sold advertising.
Is more than 90% of your revenue, so let's say more than 80, is more than 80% of your revenue made up from subscription? Or like what's bigger, advertising or subscription?
Subscription is about 2/3 and advertising is 1/3 today, but that'll change. Our future, we believe, is to become a gay social network that is more inclusive and also becomes a media provider. So our future revenue model will double down and focus on the advertising portion. In fact, on the premium advertising portion. We believe advertisers would like to have access to this very affluent gay demographics in a brand safe manner. And we provide just that. We have a lot of sessions, a lot of eyeballs, and we give advertisers access to that demographic in a very brand safe manner. And
gross household income, GHI, a very typical measurement in the media buying business, I imagine is probably fairly high in the gay community.
You bet. Yeah. So there's a couple of numbers out there, but typically, by any measure, they have a higher income. They travel much more, especially on discretionary income and, affordable, affluent products and aspiration products. They'll be very, they are very looked after and chased.
Now, when we had Sean on last, I think he said you had raised about 1.5 million total. You have a bit of an announcement. You raised some more capital. How much total?
So we raised our Series A, effectively, of $8 million. We announced that in November. And that's on top of the original $1 million in angel money, which we raised back in 2011 and 12, which was mostly, ourselves, friend, family, and fools, the typical Fs. And when Hornet was under the leadership of Sean, we focused on breaking even, which we did from 2013 till basically last quarter. Now, of course, we're doubling down with that investment and invest heavily into marketing, building the product and adding content to dating. And then we can talk more about that strategy, how we're going to go and move this forward and to redefine what a gay app is going to be.
Let's get into that in a second. Let me just get an update on some of these numbers though too. So Sean articulated that you guys were at about 100,000 customers paying on average about $7 a month for that premium subscription. How have those numbers updated to date?
Yeah, so I don't have the subscription numbers ready for you. We don't share that because our focus is really on the advertising revenue, and we look really to double down and strengthen our relationship to premium brands and relevant brands for the gay community. And those are really our main revenue drivers.
You have to tell me, you're not looking at. So he told me again, you guys were at 100,000 people paying about $7 a month. So doing about $700,000 in monthly recurring revenue at that point. That was 6 or 8 months ago. You're telling me you don't care about that revenue anymore?
We don't care about that revenue. It's still there. It's tactical revenue for us. The $7 are still our subscription fee, but this is not our focus. Our focus is to get more engagement, to tear down those walls to more engagement, and to add content into the app, which includes our huge content team.
So how do you measure engagement?
We measure engagement, for instance, in sessions. So we look at how many sessions or time spent in the app we are seeing, and we have on peaks, we have 20 million sessions a day.
What's a peak? What's it, like a Friday night or a Saturday night or?
Thursday and Sundays are popular, but also holidays, or after the holidays, we have those spikes in our traffic.
Interesting. Okay, 20 million. And what's the total user base? Obviously free and paid. It's obviously more than 20 million.
Yeah, so this is just a session. These are the session numbers I shared with you. Our user base is, we have now a 17 million total downloads.
70?
17. Okay. And we have a total of 3 million monthly actives and about 1 to 1.5 million daily active, again, depending on the day of the week.
Okay. And what is I imagine there's some things in the app that you measure, like a match, or I don't know if there's a match, or like a message or things like that. What are the key usage metrics you're measuring that directly determine how many minutes per day a certain user will spend in a session?
Well, we do measure simply time spent in apps. So this is a number we are tracking very closely. It's a number we don't disclose publicly, but this is a number we are optimizing on, and we're seeing great progress.
What is Tinder's?
I can't talk about for Tinder. You need to ask them
what's
themselves.
The average? I'm getting at what's the average?
Yeah, so you have anything for a session length from 40 seconds to 2 or 3 minutes. You have the whole range in this industry, and it depends really on the different engagement models. For Tinder, it's mostly a straight app, so there's a very different behavioral observation between male and female users. We have a homogeneous male user group, mostly male user group. And so it's much less scattered.
Okay, and then so let's talk. We have about 4 or 5 minutes left here. Let's talk about where you're moving in terms of content and kind of lifestyle. Are you taking a traditional kind of media and advertising approach? You're selling CPMs to large advertisers and doing it that way? Or are you inventing something new?
The former. So in the end of the day, we sell CPM, and we provide premium exposure for brands and relevant products to this very affluent demographics. However, the ad units we are providing are premium ad units, like native advertising, which is similar to something like you'd see on Facebook or Snapchat. So you see not just low class or lesser well-designed banner ads that are somewhat more common, but you see very premium advertising units that we provide to our advertising customers.
And what are they? I mean, I know like in Tinder, it's like a card built in. Do you have like profiles that are going to basically be ad units? Like, how do you make it organic?
Yeah, so we basically have, unlike many other gay apps, we have a feed model. So what's really new and where we take Hornet, with Hornet, the gay app concept to the next level is that you not just have a static, if you will, wall of profiles, but you basically have a feed where people can tell their story, and you have a kind of a wall where you can update and say what you like and interact with content. So we have a much more dynamic and feed-based model how to profile people and then to follow people. So we are also the first to introduce following other users, which then, of course, populates your feed, which is similar to a feed on Facebook. Of course,
except it's a one-way. It's a one-way authentication because a friend, it doesn't have to be accepted. You can follow, I imagine, without the person saying yes, they can follow me.
So that's like Twitter or Instagram, for instance, exactly. And in this feed, of course, we have the opportunity, just like on Facebook, to add, sponsors, if you will, feed posts. And that is one example of such a native ad unit I mentioned.
Because of your user demographic, are you able to charge 2, 3, 4, 5 times the CPM that, say, Facebook would charge? On a Facebook ad, what do you pay? You can pay like $1 or up to maybe $5, $6, depending on your targeting. How does your CPM compare?
Yeah, so our published prices are $15 CPM, so they're quite, significantly more targeting or allow people to target better, hence, a more premium pricing. And that can be even more premium if you add additional targeting options we provide, such as geo-targeting, for instance, which makes advertising even more relevant. So these are the published prices, and there's, of course, the usual range of business agreements that you can see in an industry like this.
And how many companies are working with you as an advertiser currently?
We have basically about 150, I would say, direct premium advertisers, and then we have a couple hundreds, if not thousands more at any time through indirect channels on top. But our focus will be on direct advertising and long-term recurring relationships with our partners.
And do you have a platform like Facebook has Power Editor where people can manually place these, or is this still a manual process? They email you, you agree on something, you sign a PDF document, and then you have your technical team code in the pop-up or whatever?
We use DFP, so that's something where agencies are very familiar with, and we plug seamlessly into their infrastructure and their purchasing. DFP, double click for publishers, so Google's platform. And so that's something that is well understood and instrumented by any media buyer. And this allows us to give them access to, and that's really the key point, traditionally gay apps have been kind of limited to being if you will, dating apps, right? So to meet other people for all sort of purposes. And we, for the first time, add like genuinely created and acquired content into this. In fact, Hornet has the largest gay media newsroom in the United States now, headed up by Stephen Horbert, the former chief editor of Frontiers magazine here in LA, who's now heading up our content team. And we are producing up to 15 to 20 stories that are of interest to the gay community and provide this as an additional incentive for the gay community to interact with one another over topics, like by liking or by commenting on these posts, and to, in this way, not only look at, the community as a meat market, and that's what I think is way too small for other apps, but by actually providing a digital home for the gay community. A digital home for the gay community is what we're building, and we believe that will take the idea of gay apps to a whole new level.
Where are you spending the $8 million? Is it mostly on acquisition of new users? Is it on content? Is it on finding new advertisers, technology team? What is it?
You know what, Nathan? We are now number 2 worldwide, which means we're number 1 in many key markets such as France, Brazil, Mexico, Turkey, Russia, even Taiwan, Thailand, everywhere. And we have, up to Q3 this year, never spent a cent on marketing. Can you believe it? Our marketing budget was about $2,000 or something in the first half this year. Now, we're going to spend much more on marketing going forward, but mostly to help people understand what a gay app can be rather than user acquisition. So we look to engage with advertisers. We look to allow users to understand that this is more than just dating, and increase engagements. We don't need that many new users. We have plenty of new users organically because people are very, very happy with our user experience. I mentioned the user numbers. We have 17
Yeah, I know, but
I
asked specifically about growth. So you said you're adding a lot. So what are you adding monthly?
We're adding monthly to the tune of about 500,000 or 600,000. It's not a number we particularly look at. We look at active and retained users, and we don't spend money on it. So we are breaking some of the typical models in growth hacking because our users come in more or less for free.
Sure.
And we make sure, when they come in for free, they stay and they enjoy the expanded possibilities that a gay app like Hornet, which takes the whole concept of gay apps to the next level, can offer them. And this on the backdrop of you have to remember, the gay community has lost some of its, if it is water holes, such as gay bars are dying, gay media is dying, the gay cause in terms of marriage equality has, at least in the last year, become less rallying. Maybe that's changing now with the new administration, and we can see a revival of some of that. But many of the sort of the gay community elements that brought the gay community together have been, weakened, and gay apps have been limited to being dating. And we believe there's a huge space of taking this to the next level and creating the new digital home for the gay community. And that's what Hornet is venturing out. And that's what I'm very blessed and proud to lead going forward.
Guys, I get asked all the time, Nathan, you host all these interviews, hundreds of them per month. How do you do them efficiently? And guys, the answer is simple. People always agree to my calendar, back-to-back meetings. I batch my interviews to stay very efficient. And the way that I do it is I use a tool called Acuity Scheduling at nathanlatka.com/schedule. And the reason I use them is very simple. They keep my no-show rate very low because they send out reminders about when the interview or the meeting is coming up. And also, they make it very easy to schedule time, right? I don't have to go back and forth via email 10,000 times with people I'm trying to meet with. Okay, at nathanlatka.com/schedule. It helps me so much. And by the way, look, I have so many meetings. I'm the best at meetings. Okay, I do them back to back, very, very efficient. You guys know me. Many people say I'm the most efficient they've ever seen. Okay, so I use the tool. It's so efficient. And by the way, I got Gavin. I said, Gavin, he's the CEO. I said, I want a great deal for my people. He said, Nathan, well, most people get a 14-day trial. Isn't that great? I said, no. He's given us a 45-day free trial at nathanlatka.com/schedule. That's not going to stay up forever, so go get it now. nathanlatka.com/schedule. Christof, on that note, let's wrap up here with the famous 5. Number 1, what is your favorite business book?
My favorite business book is a couple, so it's difficult to say, but I think From 0 to 1 is my favorite.
Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying right now?
Yeah, so I go more the unbeaten path. Sami Inkin, and the former founder of Julia and now CEO of Virtua Health, is my champion. He, in fact, inspires me to do sports. He rode to Hawaii, and he also inspired me to eat a no-carb diet, apart from really allowing me to understand how to build a great consumer business. And Sami Inkin.
Number 3, is there a favorite online tool you have, like Acuity Scheduling?
I have so many. We have a very distributed organization. My most recent super happy tool is capshare.com. It's an hosted cap table management tool. It's just insanely awesome. Whoever has built a cap table in Excel will never look back.
Yeah, all the pro formas in Excel. It's not fun. Fully diluted, not diluted. Yeah, I totally get it.
Exactly.
Capshare.com. Number 4, yes or no, do you get 8 hours of sleep every night?
Yes.
And what's your situation? Married, single, do you have kids?
I'm married with my partner of 20 years. We married 3 years ago. And in fact, this Saturday, we are having our 20th anniversary.
Oh, wow. So, very good. Any kiddos yet?
No kiddos. We're still trying.
Okay, good. And you said you were 41?
29 and something.
29 and something. That number's important because I usually say, take us back X amount of years to your 20-year-old self. What do you wish that he knew?
At the time, I was studying architecture, and I should have dropped out of college. So be bold and don't listen to, you need a degree. Just follow your dreams.
There you go. I was architecture, had dropped out of it for my first SaaS company. So they were the same that way.
You're smarter than me. You're smarter than me.
You finished?
I finished. I got a master in architecture.
Oh, wow.
I learned something, but it was 4.5 years, so I could have put that to better use.
Well, guys,
like doing what you did, Nathan.
There you have it from Christof, one of the founders, not only of Strive Capital, but also Hornet. He would have dropped out of college sooner. Again, they're well over 100,000 users, paid customers, over 17 million users, 3 million monthly active, 1 million weekly active, and spikes up to 20 million depending on the day, Thursdays, Sundays, holidays, things like that. Focus not just on being a hookup application, but really being a content hub for the gay community. Just raised $8 million, bringing the total raise to about $9 million. Christof, thank you for taking us to the top.
It's been a pleasure. I love your show. Stay on it.
Oh, do you listen?
Absolutely.
Oh, good. Why do you keep listening?
It's just, I love the style. I love to get the insight because, here you see really what keeps entrepreneurs awake, and you get a good benchmark. So I think it's a wonderful community for entrepreneurs.
Thank you, Christof.
See you, Nathan.
If you enjoyed Christof today, go back and listen to Chris Golek yesterday of Demandbase. They'll break $100 million in annual recurring revenue in 2017, helping 400 customers with account-based marketing. Top Tribe, I love giving away free money. I feel like Oprah giving away cars, and I have something special for you today. How many of you have heard our super sharp guests talk about success they've had with Facebook and Google Ads? Well, all of you listening right now, yes, if you're listening, you get $100 in free AdWords. Here's how you get it, okay? Again, thanks for listening. Get the free $100 from Google, right, when you sign up with my website host provider, HostGator. Go sign up now to get your free money. HostGator.com/Nathan. Again, that's HostGator.com/Nathan. Okay, Top Tribe, I'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning. And don't forget, before you listen to any other episodes, subscribe on iTunes right now for your chance to win $100 every Monday.